welcome into Chalk Talk Social. It is Friday, October 24th. My audio quality shit. If you're watching, I got a weird background. I'm traveling. I'm out in Florida this week. I'm on Iman's time. I'm on East Coast time right now, so we're running up. Speaking of Iman, how we doing, man? What's going on?
Hey, man, you already know I'm about my money. I'm about my biz. You know it's me when you hear that. There it is. I'm feeling good, baby. It's the weekend. I'm telling you, track season for me is almost here, so I'm getting even more excited. Officially indoor starts in November. But, hey, man, been a good week. NBA started, NFL going, World Series going. God, dog, it's a good time to be sports guys.
College football's going.
Yeah.
We had to wait like a month and a half of just getting screwed with no sports just to get glory days like this again, right? You know, you got the Versace's on, you got the Cowboys hat on. Every time I see that Cowboys hat, I'm convinced you're going back. I think you're dipping your toes back into Cowboys land, Iman. You're seeing this offense and be like, I like that offense. I don't got that in Baltimore.
I just got to be honest, Austin. This is one of my practice hats. So coaching track, I wear hats when I don't have haircuts, and I somehow. And I don't wear none of my new hats. Now, I do got to say that I don't wear none of my new hats. Like, if it's a new hat, I only wear it when I go out. So this one, my Washington, I got like 7 hats that I rotate from practice.
Same.
Yeah.
Same. Yeah. I heard like wearing a lot of hats can like help you or accelerate balding. I'm going to go ahead and not buy into that for as long as I can. Oh, God.
Yeah, no.
Oh, you're fine?
Austin,
yeah, you're
listen,
fine. Yeah.
Listen, my DNA's good. When my dad died, he died in the 60s, he had a head full of hair. So DNA got me. I'm good.
Okay.
I'm good.
I hope I get the same. I don't see balding in my family, but there could be someone in there that's going to screw me over. But we got a fun little episode today. So what we're going to run through today, we got a Panthers fan. I guarantee you we're the only like podcast out there that's covering like national sports and teams that is covering the Carolina Panthers. We got to be one of like 5 or 10, something like that. But I'm telling you, it's a great little interview coming up about the Panthers because they got 4 wins. We got to at least show them a little bit of love. And then we got a conversation coming up on the Bills because the Bills are kind of in a precarious situation. So we got a Bills fan who does some awesome work on Twitter. Bills on Real on Twitter, does some really good stuff, tweeting out some funny stuff lately. So that person will come on and talk some Bills with us because they're in a weird spot with their defensive coordinator right now, their offense, and everything just seems like in a weird-ish spot for a really good team. So that'll be good. And then, of course, we're going to kick it over to the news desk. We're going to run into it, get through some NBA stuff, going to get through some week of preview stuff per usual. We'll cover a little bit of MLB playoffs. Obviously, the Mariners got hurt. The 2 teams I have to live for in baseball, the Brewers and the Mariners, I always say it, they're the same team in a different conference. They can never have anything nice. They're never going to win a World Series. They'll always tease you, and they'll make you feel good. And then they're just going to stab you right in the heart. So Mariners fans got hurt real bad. That Game 7 loss to the Blue Jays, you got to feel from it to a point. They got so close. This is the closest. They're still the one team that's never made a World Series. So Game 7 of the ALCS, that hurts to fall just. And they were up 3-1, and they gave up a 3-run dinger. It was just brutal. It was just so brutal. We actually recorded the podcast. My wife was downstairs yelling. It was hard not to run down there and console her pain. But all right, how about this? Let's get right to it. Let's jump into the first interview. We're going to talk some Carolina Panthers football. We'll come back and talk some Bills. So let's go to that first interview. Let's welcome in our first guest on Chalk Talk Social today. We got Zeb Long. Zeb is a Carolina Panthers fan. We got to talk some Panthers football. They got some stuff going on. They're winning games. They got a running back thing going on. But Zeb, what's going on, man? How are you?
I'm doing great, man. Best I've been in years, to be honest with you.
As a Panthers fan?
As a Panthers fan and life in general, but yeah, dude, feeling good. How are you doing?
I'm doing great. I'm happy we're here talking Panthers. No one talks Panthers football, and probably reasons for it. They got 4 wins this season, which is I feel like more than they get in most seasons.
It is.
And so they're off to a good start. So it's like, let's talk some Panthers. And obviously, I saw some of your TikToks, man. You got some funny content out there. You can give a shout out to the channel when we're wrapping up. But
yes, sir.
Talk to me first about your Panthers fandom experience, the fact that you've made it this long.
Yeah, it's been, that's like one of the funny things about being a Panthers fan is that we are forgotten a lot of the time, right? But if you look back, even in recent history, of course, the NFL has, I feel like, a very short-term memory. But, man, there were many years where the NFC South ran through Charlotte. The Cam years before that, we had Steve Smith, Julius Peppers. We've had a lot of success. But our lows have been very, very low. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Small market as well. We just tend to get overlooked, right? But I absolutely love the Carolina Panthers. Like, have my whole life. I'm from North Carolina. I live in Southern California now, so that's a whole interesting side of it. Trying to talk Panthers out here is interesting. But yeah, man, I've been there through the ups and yeah, a little bit. It's funny though, like there a lot of times they're pretty nice to you, right? Because there's not much rivalry there. Yeah. But yeah, they're interested. They ask the same question, man. They're like, "How have you hung around this long?" And it's the people that love them, man. They absolutely love them. There is a huge fan base there that truly cares. So proud to be part of it.
They got sick colors, sick logos, so always got that going for them. And like you were talking about some of the legends back in the day, like people forget about the Jonathan Stewart, D'Angelo Williams backfield combo, and just man, was that nice. The true OG power or lightning and thunder kind of combo. Yeah. But I mean, speaking of, they kind of got a good thing going in the backfield right now. I mean, it took for Hubbard to get hurt for Rico Dowdle to start flashing. Granted, got not against the best defenses, but off, he was averaging almost 6 yards of carries those first two games. How we feel about this backfield?
It was crazy, man. It looked like the best running back in the league there for a little while. And even last week he looked good, right? And like there is, I mean, it's a very interesting debate. There's a lot of drama going around, like not even just Panthers fans. Like obviously there's a whole fantasy football aspect to it that stirred up a lot of stuff. But I mean, what a great problem to have, first of all, right? Like two guys that you trust, love to see out there, like making stuff happen. They're two different guys, but I'll give my stance on it. And I mean, I think a lot of people, like I said, are disagreeing on it. But personally, when I watch Rico, I feel like he's a very like rhythm guy, right? Like he wears down a defense. He's the guy that can kind of take over a game. I don't love the 50-50 splitting every drive thing. I think it works. It works for the Lions, for example. Like they're able to pull it off. But watching them against the Jets, I just wanted them to leave Rico in there and just be like, man, take this game over. Like, you know, he finishes every run, wears the defense down. I was just ready to see him get a little more time. I'm thinking like 60-40 would work. But I don't like splitting drives, man. I like seeing if a guy can get some momentum and take a game over.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Hand. Yeah, the hot hand. I love the hot hand approach. I mean, so we actually had a conversation the other day on the show about Rico and Hubbard. I mean, people are saying like, yeah, hey, but you know, Hubbard had a really good year last year. I was like, I get that. He had, I think he finished like 8th in yards in rushing yards last year. Mm-hmm. He had nice games. He's got nice moments. He makes nice plays. My thing was like, he's not Saquon. He's not Prime Henry. He's not that echelon of football player to where if a guy comes in and starts just having league best yards per carry, freaking 400 something yards in 2 games, that how do you put a back seat on that guy for the time being? Like you said, the momentum guy, the hot hand guy. So I was almost like, I feel like they might have a good 1-2 thing going, but you know, I think it could go like 1 week it's Hubbard 70%, next week it's Rico, just whatever. I mean, hopefully they don't fuck it up. Some people are saying online like they're gonna mess it up somehow.
Oh man, we'll find a way to mess it up. And I felt like we messed it up last week. I felt like, you know, it just didn't feel. It felt goofy to me watching them dedicate a whole drive to one, dedicate a whole another drive to another. I think they need to just mix them in and see who gets hot.
I love it. But, well, what about the guy in front of him? Y'all been kind of trying to build the receiver core a little bit with Xavier Leggett. He's a goof, but he just had a huge game finally, turning some targets into receptions. Jalen Coker's back, and he looked really nice last year. Obviously, you got Tet doing his thing, and you got Bryce Miller throwing him the ball. How we feel about Bryce Miller? Hey, Bryce Miller, better stats than C.J. Stroud lately.
Dude, that is one of the funny conversations too, man, is that like watching CJ on Monday Night Football, I was sitting there like, man, dude, like that conversation is kind of gone out the window. Everybody, you know, wanted to compare apples to apples. Number one, I mean, CJ came into a much better situation, much better defense, much better everything, right? Like everything was kind of set up for him to have a great year that first year. But Bryce, that wasn't exactly the case, man. And I've been a little bit full transparency. My friends, if they see this, I can't get it by them. I've been a little bit of a Bryce hater. I can't lie.
Okay.
So personally, in my opinion, I never got the vibe that he is that guy that could completely take a ball game over if you need him to, right? Like you watch those games, like you watch Sunday Night Football, you got Josh Allen out there completely taking a ball game over. You know, Lamar Jackson, same way. Pat Mahomes, obviously. But, like, when you talk about a number one draft pick, you talk about that guy who you're going to trust to get your franchise, like the Panthers, a small market team, to that next level. If you're talking Super Bowls and talking NFC championships, like, I just never got that vibe that Bryce was going to be that guy. Mm-hmm. I'm starting to change my mind a little bit. I'm seeing what, like Nick Saban said. He's kind of a distributor, right? If you put the guys around Bryce and you got a good run game, he can use some play action. He can kind of scramble around and make stuff happen. I'm starting to see there's a path to where, okay, we might be working with something, but I want to see him play in some big games. I want to see him play in some big moments, like other than just, 1 o'clock Sunday. Like, all right, we're playing the Dolphins. Let's see what he's got.
Yeah, absolutely. Like, how much does he elevate that offense? Would they be much worse without him? And you plug in Jacoby Brissett, who's balling out for Arizona. Yeah. Like, does the offense change that much? I think the nice thing about Bryce Young, at least this season, is he's been creating a lot of plays. Like, after avoiding a sack, I was kind of reading over something where his mobility has set them up for a lot of, like, outer structure stuff. He's avoiding and he's creating a play, and he's actually been one of the most efficient quarterbacks in creating a play after a sack this year.
Yeah.
So he looks like he's taken the baby steps. And, like, when you say that too, it makes me think of, like, Brock Purdy, right? Yeah. With the Avengers. How good was that team with any quarterback, right?
Right.
Brock Purdy does nice things, don't get me wrong, but he does not elevate that offense to the extent that he should have got the money that he got, type of thing.
I was wondering that too.
Aged like milk sitting outside for a while. Yep. So, I mean, Bryce Young, and again, he's kind of in that small quarterback like bucket, and we're kind of seeing it going away. Like, Russell Wilson's gone. Bryce Young? Kyler Murray, he might be out of a job. He might be.
Yeah, what happened there, man? I used to love Kyler. I really am shocked that never went anywhere further than it did. I love that guy. But I don't know. We'll see. Like, everybody always made that Drew Brees comp with Bryce. They were like, oh, well, Drew Brees was 5'9" or 5'10" or whatever. I'm like, dude, do you know how many times I watched Drew Brees throw for 400 yards, slinging it around the Superdome? Like, you let me know when Bryce starts doing that. Like, don't get me wrong. I love him. I'm happy with what he's doing. But let me know when he's slinging it around like that. We'll start having a big conversation.
One's a pretty clear first ballot Hall of Famer. Pretty not too far into his career. It's like, all right, this guy's got the juice.
There you go.
Look, speaking of juice, the Panthers still got some juice. The defense has been pretty good. I think they've been pretty stingy in terms of, like, success rate allowed against them. They're like top 5 in terms of, like, teams are not successful against that defense often. I know the pass defense has been kind of stingy, but you got 4 wins. You're one of they're in the top half of football right now.
In playoff contention.
And, like, things are, you would never think of that. Literally in playoff contention. The Bucs are probably going to win that division.
They will, yeah.
They'll win it. But, like, the Panthers are very real in terms of wild card talk. So I'm curious to get your take. Like, what do you do at the deadline then? Are you going all in? You selling? What are we doing?
Man, I was thinking about this week because it's almost like I don't know if I feel like it's a good idea to start throwing picks away or anything, just because, all right, you look at this year, we're building something. We've got a culture getting built. We've got some young guys coming up. Like, people are starting to mesh. Like, okay, is it time to throw away picks and try to bring in, like, a high-end pass rusher or edge rusher or whatever, or sneak in a good tight end or receiver? I just think we need to build on what we got. I love what Dan Morgan and them do in the draft. I think they really, have some stuff dialed in there. I would rather see, let's build on what we got here and set up for next year and keep things rolling and build the momentum. Now, that being said, I wouldn't mind seeing them chase down an edge rusher from Miami, but we'll see.
Imagine, like, signing a Brian Burns type of player to your team.
Oh, imagine, I know.
What if that option was available?
Would love it, dude. What if, right?
It would be crazy.
I saw somebody was rumoring, what's his name? Bradley Chubb. They were tossing that name around a little bit. He went to school in North Carolina too. I thought that was, like, kind of an interesting move. But yeah, man. Let's see what they do with the picks. Let's just keep.
So you want you say, like, at most go get a pass rusher, otherwise, like, stay steady.
I think if we can go get an edge rusher, that would be nice. But I'd rather see what they do in the draft, man. Let's keep building this thing.
Okay, then I guess if you do nothing, what do you think is the part that's going to be the demise? Then, if one thing's going to knock the Panthers out, it's going to be X.
Oh man, I really think it's going to be not figuring out that backfield, to be honest with you. I think there's an attitude thing around that. Like, Mark Schlereth, the guy who was announcing the Jets game, was talking about it a little bit. He's like, man, if you just take away a job from a guy that's gone out there and played better than anybody in the NFL, like that could – not everybody in the locker room is going to love that. That's my one concern. If they fumble it, which I don't know the right answer, right? Dave Canales has got a big task on his hands figuring that out. But yeah, I think that could really do some damage if they go about that the wrong way.
It almost seems like a good problem to have. You got two.
Hubbard
Hubbard has
one
not
of them
been
will figure it out.
Yeah, Hubbard hasn't been that efficient this year. I mean, what do you think? Do you think Canales is the guy at least?
I do, man. I'm starting to really come around on him a lot. I love, and you think about some of the stuff he's dealt with in his first couple years or whatever. So, like, number one, you got probably one of the craziest owners in the NFL throwing drinks on people in Jacksonville, right? Like, you got that going on. I don't know. He might not have been there for that, but still, that still happened. Still a crazy owner you got to deal with. You got Bryce. You got people trying to figure out if he's the guy. You had to sit him last year. All that mess. Now you got everybody in the NFL looking at the decision you're making on these running backs. Like, he's had a lot going on, and he's held strong. He seems to be like a good face for the franchise, man. He's a good looking guy too. Like, dude, like he's absolute stud, doing well in Charlotte. He's got a lot going for him, man. So I'm happy with him. I think we should stick with it.
All right. I love it. Well, Zeb, it was great chatting with you. Good talking Panthers. I mean,
yes, sir.
I know I found you on TikTok. Why don't you just tell the folks, like, what your page is about and where they can find you?
Absolutely, man. So Zeb Long, ZEBLONGNC on TikTok. So really just kind of funny sports stuff, kind of focused around football. I try to kind of, take trends that may be going around on TikTok, focus it on football. Just random lifestyle stuff if I find something I think is funny, but just trying to make people laugh and, put some stuff out there and see what happens,
Well, it's how we got this far. I liked it. Yeah. I was laughing. I was like, all right, we got to talk Panthers football.
Anytime, my friend. We'll see. If we make a run, we'll do it again.
I'll just say, come end of season, we have to pick this one back up and see where we're at with it. But good talking to you, man. Appreciate you coming on.
You too, Austin. Have a good one, brother.
Yes, sir. Have a good one.
All right, that was Panthers. That was some Panthers chat. Now let's kick it over to the Bills fan real quick, and we'll talk some Bills football. We'll come back from that, and maybe we just cover up real quick on our thoughts on the Panthers and the Bills for the rest of the season, and then we'll jump into the news desk.
All right, kicking over to our next interview with the fan today. We got Bills over here, big Bills content on Twitter. How we doing, man? How we feeling about these Bills?
Good, bro. I mean, 2-game losing streak, but I believe, man, we had a 2-game losing streak each of 7 years. We had a 2-game losing streak. And the bye week came at the perfect time because the team's at its good right now. So,
yeah, I mean, Josh Allen's still him. He's still an alien on the football field. Things haven't felt like totally right this year. And, I mean, I know there's the Chiefs thing in the playoffs. Do you feel like this team, like any more than last year's, could like be the Bills team that beats the Chiefs?
I'm gonna be completely honest. I don't think this team can beat the Chiefs. I'm real. If they have home field, I think they could, but on the road, I don't think it's possible. Really, the Chiefs are like Mahomes is Mahomes. Like, he'll turn up in the playoffs. The Bills defense, unless they really trade for somebody, I don't think they'll stop Mahomes like they really could in the past 4 years. And
it's been tough.
Deion Walker is a rookie, so you really can't find him to own a guy like Mahomes. So
yeah, I mean, you had a good tweet the other day. We don't give Bobby Babich enough hate. I thought that was a good one. People are roasting Bobby Babich right now, saying he should either be fired or give up play calling duties. What are your thoughts on him?
I mean, to his credit, he really hasn't. He really doesn't have a good defense to work with. He doesn't have name value really, but and to give him more credit, against the Falcons, he proved that he's really a second half defensive coordinator. His defense will allow 20 to 23 points a half the first half, then they really make halftime adjustments and really improve in the second half. But I think he should be fired. I mean, I think Dermott should really take over as play calling again. In 2023, there's just Their stats have backed us up. In 2023, we had the most aggressive defense, like the Josh Allen era, when McDermott was calling the plays.
I'd be interested to see what they, I mean, I seen him catching a little bit of hate too, but I'm assuming you got no business with McDermott leaving, right? You still want him around?
It's not much. I mean, if we fire him, like, who are we going to hire? So, we're stuck
Yeah,
with
that's kind of one thing. I mean, on the defense side, like you said, there's not like a ton of star power. Tre'Davious White clearly is like past his prime. He's struggling. But like you mentioned a trade and like what could help this defense essentially like maybe go over the top or like be in a much better spot? Is it going out for like a Trey Hendrickson, Max Crosby might be on the move or something like that? Is it getting a guy like that in there?
Well, when it comes to Brandon Bean, he won't trade us day one picks. He proved that. We've never really traded our first round pick unless we traded it for Diggs. I forgot about that. But we really like keep our first and second round picks, so I don't think we can trade for a star player. I do think we can trade for like a cornerback like Rasul Douglas or Jeremy Chin or
Bring
Tariq.
Rasul back.
Yeah, I'm down with it. We need cornerback.
Yeah.
Maxwell's a rookie. Like we need a cornerback too. And Benford hasn't been season. He really hasn't.
I mean, as a Packers fan myself, I love me some Sewell Douglas, and I thought the Bills should have brought him back. It probably wouldn't have been too bad for him to do that, but I don't know. I mean, at least y'all got James Cook looking like the real deal. I think like they got to unlock Keon Coleman or something. Like I was looking forward to the season, a bunch of back shoulder throws that they were talking and hyping up during preseason camp. Like I feel like we're just not seeing much of him this year, and now there's guys injured like Kincaid's a little banged up, Palmer's banged up. So I mean, hoping this is like time for Shakir and Coleman to like earn their keep. Shakir's nice, but like let's see more of these guys.
Yeah, bro. Like I would like to trade for a number one receiver, but Joe Brady's gonna just roll as everyone eats for the rest of the season until the off season. So,
and then, did Curtis Samuel get hurt again already?
he was injured the first 4 weeks, but he's healthy now.
He's held it. Oh, he's back. Okay. I mean, are we saying like AJ Brown, like go make a heavy deal? Or if you want number one receiver, you just said Bean is like not a guy who's going to move those day one picks or whatever. But like, what would you, as a fan, what are you giving up and who are you going to get?
Well, in a fantasy land, I would trade for AJ Brown or Chris Olave. Those are like my two main targets in a fantasy land. But realistically, we would trade for probably like Raheem Shaheed or Jacoby Myers are probably the most realistic options.
I mean, Olave's out there. I mean, and the Bills, I think they got to know there's got to be that urgency, right? They're on the they're teetering the edge for so many years. It's like the 90s years. I mean, the 90s they were at least in the Super Bowl, but like now we're on that same edge, except it's like the step down where it's like we're at the AFC Championship. We need to get over that hump. I think they got to go big or go home if they're going to make a move. I mean, again, I like Coleman. I like Shaheed. Palmer's nice. He's a good complimentary guy. Would be a great number 4 if you can go get yourself like Olave. Shaheed does add a nice element to the offense. Do they really have a field stretcher? I mean, Coleman can be, but Shaheed would be the fastest guy in that offense.
Dude, we really don't have a field stretcher. I made a tweet about this today, but we don't have a 50-yard play this season yet. Our longest play this season was a 45-yard game to Josh Palmer. So we need a deep threat. We need a deep threat. Like we don't got a single one on the team right now.
Wow, you got Josh Allen. How could you ever not have a deep threat with Josh Allen? You got the biggest arm in football, and you don't got a guy for him to. It's like when you tame a lion, you just put him in the zoo and he can't hunt. He can't do his natural stuff. Josh Allen wants to air out that ball 70, 80 yards if he can. Y'all don't got the guy.
Yep. But I mean, there's not much you can do, right? We don't have a field stretcher unless Coleman can develop the like final 12 weeks of the season. But I don't see it happening. He's shown flashes, especially in the Ravens game, but I don't see us unless you trade for Heat. I don't see we get like a lot of big plays this season.
That's crazy in a Josh Allen offense. I mean, wow. So y'all's division now, the AFC East is interesting again with the Patriots coming back, right? I mean, it's reminding me of my NFC North with the Packers and Lions, like kind of fighting at the top. Now you got some competition at the top with the Patriots looking super nice. They obviously came into Buffalo and won that game. How are you feeling like the rest of this season might shake out? Patriots got a pretty easy schedule in the back half too. They should have 11 wins minimum.
Yep.
So how are you feeling about that and the Bills' chances to win that division?
Well, it's hard because you can really compare this to 2023, where the Dolphins were 9-3, the Bills were 6-6. You can compare it to that, but like Drake May is still a young quarterback. He'll make rookie mistakes still because he's a second-year player. I think the Patriots will go like 11-6 or 10-7, but they're gonna be scary, man. Their schedule is absurdly easy.
Mm-hmm.
The Dolphins don't matter, Jets don't matter. Like
They got the Jets twice. They got the Dolphins. They got the Browns. They got the Bengals with no Burrow. The Ravens defense, anything can walk through that right now.
yep.
I mean, the Bills, if they want to win that division, I feel like are going to have to win 12 games. Or they also got the second game with the Bills coming up. The Bills and the Patriots still have another one, right?
Yep.
So what's that?
It's gonna be a big game.
That would be that might decide the division because those are both like 11, 12 win teams probably. So crazy. That's going to be at least entertaining. But all right, hey, thank you so much for coming on. Why don't you give a shout out to your Twitter page because I know you do a killing there. You do a good job. If you got the handle handy to give to the people.
Hey man, go follow Bills on Real. Great Bill stats, but yeah, man, that's really it.
Awesome. Well, I appreciate you coming on, knowing your stuff, talking to us through some Bill stuff. And yeah, we'll be on the lookout for more tweets because it's funny stuff. It's good quality stuff. Would encourage everyone to go watch that. Give some Bills Mafia love. We all love some Bills Mafia out here. So, hey, thank you for coming on.
Appreciate you, man.
Yeah, see you.
All right. Iman, we'll bring Joey in right now. Joey, come in for the news desk. Well, let's talk about Bills Panthers really quick because those two teams obviously are relevant on this podcast. Both are 4-win teams. I think we can all sit here and agree like the Bills are still the better 4-win team, even though there's like talks of them possibly firing a D coordinator or maybe moving on from their D coordinator right now. Bills are still the better 4-win team, right?
Yeah, but I'm gonna tell you right now. I've said it. I said it last week. I'm gonna say it this week. They keep making so many excuses for Josh Allen. Now it's the D coordinator. Then it was the coaches. At some point in his career in these next 2 years, he's gonna have to either get it done or he's gonna be washed up just like they do Lamar when Peyton couldn't win. Everybody who just got to 6, 7, 8 years and couldn't win, he got to start getting that flat. Because, I mean, I just seen them they just always make excuses for him. And I think he's back to turning over the ball. So I think it's less defense, little more Josh Allen. I'm just saying the criticism, I'm telling you, him and Justin Herbert has dodged all criticism since they've been in the league. And at some point, it's going to be Josh Allen's fault. But they are the better 4-win team. But I'm just saying, if they don't get it done this year.
Well, how about this week? Guess who's playing this week? Bills, Panthers playing this week. We're going to find out, right? And then Bills actually got the Chiefs after the Panthers. So I just said, hey, funny episode to have Bills and Panthers fans right back to back like that. And the Panthers and Bills are playing this week against each other. I don't know, Joe, are you rolling Bills? You know, obviously the Panthers got a nice little running back duel situation going on. Bills got James Cook.
I gotta roll with the Bills because I still like Josh Allen a lot, and I think
Me too.
And he's old overtime rule away in the playoffs from getting his chance at glory. So
that's true.
It's kind of like that. Jordan Pistons 90s where like you finally got to get over and you beat the Pistons, then you go on to win. It's like Allen's had Mahomes in his way this entire time. And it's like, if he can this was that year, right? We thought they would get over him. And then the Chiefs said, no, we're going to be like normal and get better as the year goes on. But I got to give some love to Carolina because they don't have nice things a lot. And so for them to have 4 wins and have a little momentum here and that Dowdle shocker to give them that 2-punch in the backfield is exciting. So if anything, it'll be a fun matchup in what we probably thought would have been a blowout in preseason rankings, right? So it should be fun.
Yeah, Bills don't got it easy the rest of the way. Like I said, Panthers, say what you will about the Panthers, are they a legit 4-win team, whatever you want. Bills, Panthers coming up, like I said, then they got the Chiefs. Dolphins, they should win, but then they got the Buccaneers. Texans, they should win, but then they got the Steelers. Bengals should win, but then they got the Patriots. Then they got the Browns defense, and they got the Eagles. So the Bills kind of got like I wouldn't call it necessarily a gauntlet, but like they don't got to give me schedule the rest of the season right now. And with the way the Patriots are playing and the way the Patriots schedule looks the rest of the year, I think we're sitting in a spot where the Bills aren't winning that division. I'm just being totally frank, right? I don't think the Bills are going to win that division. right? I think the Patriots are an 11 to 12 win team, and I'm thinking the Bills are going to have to play really good football the rest of the way through to get 10, 11 wins. They still got Josh Allen, Mahomes, Allen, whatever, Lamar. They still got one of the three best quarterbacks in football, however you want to rank them. So when you got that, it's always possible they're bound through injuries. But why don't we get into the news desk? Because, look, NBA season is up and running finally. So let's kick off the news desk with a little bit of NBA talk. And it's a great time to do it because NBA's got some controversy we need to get into a little bit. Troy, lead us off.
Hell yeah, it does. Yeah, we came into the day going, we're going to talk NBA and the season openers and what are our predictions. We'll get to that because the news gods had another idea. Gambling. If you didn't see it earlier, Chauncey Billups and Terry Rozier in some trouble. Rozier with a little more NBA-focused gambling issues, $200K in prop bets. The best is they knew about it the day it happened and tried to sweep it under the rug. But Chauncey Billups, while may have saved his ties to the league, he's in a little more hot water than I think you'd like, with a good old group called the Mafia. Illegal poker rings, you name it. He's in trouble. They got $7 million stolen in all, and just a wild, wild way to kick off the NBA season when you had all the hype for the players and the OKC and their rings and all this, and then boom, gambling comes at you.
Yeah, and hey, Chauncey Billups decided I'm going to play a little bit of games with the Sopranos and Tony Soprano and see how that goes for me. He must have not watched the show because if he watched the show, he wouldn't have been fucking around like this. The thing I never got about any of this is Rozier. You're in the league. You're making how many millions?
25.
And you've thrown it away.
25 million a year.
Ooh, sir. And you threw it away for $200,000. You threw away everything, your future, everything gone over $200,000. And y'all see the clips that came out of him on Twitter going around today of the way that he was slouching in some of these games. And now you see that clip. It was like, oh man, he had the house on the game. He had his grandkids' college on the game. He was doing some of that stuff that's so, like, now we look back and we know it's like, oh, that was blatant. Oh, that would make sense. Why you would never do that. But it's just crazy, man. I've never understood pro athletes making these type of decisions, like when you're making millions and the dumbest little shit you throw it away for. It just doesn't make any sense to me.
Well, the only thing I can say on that, Austin, we've all played sports before, and the biggest gamblers are the sports players. And when they
Michael Jordan,
no matter what level, they're always there. Now, the one thing I will say about this Chauncey Billups and even Damian Jones is caught up in it. So y'all remember when Gilbert Arenas got caught for that? It looks like Gilbert Arenas is the snitch, and he's clearly the one starting to name everybody that was involved. Because, see, listen, I come from a not so favorable neighborhood. So, I'm used to people going to jail. The hardest criminals don't want to go to jail and be there. So now I know rich NBA coaches, NBA guys, the moment they get in that cell – But now the only thing, I'd rather go to, well, I don't know, because if you go to jail, the mafia got people inside. But I guess I can protect myself better on the outside. But
I think so.
Soon as I seen the Terry Rozier shit now, because I get a lot of flack now. I'm going to tell y'all, I am a gambler, but I don't gamble a lot of money. Now, I honestly, the most I've ever gambled, player props, $100. Now, I win a lot and I lose some. But I get, like, my friends and them get mad at me because when I get players on my prop to do it and they fuck up, I go in their DMs and I troll them a week. The whole week. I mean, every player that mess up a parlay, I go in their inbox.
Oh.
So, because I know this shit be going on. So now
you're that guy.
Listen, Austin, if I showed you some of my DMs, you would kind of be like, oh, man, you kind of going hard. I go at if they got kids, they got wives. I'm like, you son of a, like, your kids ugly, because I know they do these type of things. And this is just telling everybody, but I think the NBA and the NFL gonna have to really get, but I don't know where you go from here. FanDuel, all of these sporting sites are just big
They're not gonna do anything
now. So it's just like, it's $1 billion industry, but this just fucks it up for the fans, though. Y'all make all the money, and now y'all fucking our money over because what if I had you for the over?
I mean, that's the thing I think that was crazy is that the FBA came out and said that they think over $7 million in total was stolen, in a sense, from these bets or whatever. 30 people have been charged, from the NBA insider prop bets, the rigged poker games, whatever. Yeah, Brian Windhorst is the one who came out and said, Windhorst, however you feel about that guy, I hate him for all his Giannis Bucks talk, but he said, I just want to point something out. The sports book caught the irregular betting on Terry Rozier the day it happened, and guess what? The NBA, Rozier didn't play the rest of the season, and he had faked an injury, so it wasn't because of the injury, it was because the NBA pulled him. And then you see it on ESPN when they're talking about it. They try to be slick, and everyone caught it. And you can't escape nothing in the social media days. They removed the little ticker at the bottom. The ESPN bet ticker got removed mid-segment as they're talking about it, trying to hide it up. That's what I'm saying. So it's in a weird spot now. But the gambling stuff has become way too big. It has dominated all the sports. I'm sick of NFL broadcasts just talking about player games and everything and talking about the game in the context of betting. John Madden rolling in his damn grave right now. Sure, he was probably in Vegas cooking it up, doing his thing. He's an Oakland coach, but these boys get out a little bit. But to make the whole broadcast about the betting lines and all this, just taken away from some serious authentic sports coverage and the way we're analyzing the game. Now people are analyzing games based off here's the over under, here's the points, all that shit. It's just man, it's great and all, and I get the appeal as a fan to bet and everything, but it's gotten so big. This could be one of those bursts in the bubble a little bit. Maybe we'll see. There's gonna be some downfall, right? There's gotta be some.
No, because
nothing. You don't think anything?
These players know the lines. They got families. But my only thing, I'm like this: Terry Rozier, you make $25 million a year, $200,000. You're just an idiot. I just think some of these NBA guys because listen, if I was rich, I'm gonna be honest. I'm not rich. I gamble for a little extra money here and there. If I was a millionaire, I would want to keep my money. Why would I just don't get it. But I'm gonna troll Terry Rozier because he's been on some tickets of mine. So I am gonna get in his DM, his family's DM, and I'm gonna troll him for about a week because this shit is. I just hate it though because I love sports and it's rigged. And we all kind of thought wrestling was rigged, but now I'm starting to think y'all really rigging everything now. So yeah,
always
crazy.
Always Bears are facing. There've been some phantom calls in those Bears games. I know that a lot of people talk about. I mean, the refs are always loving them some Chiefs and all that stuff too. Some of those calls that come up, but I don't know. I don't know where the NBA goes from here with it. I think there's going to be a slap on the wrist, and that's as far as this goes. But Gilbert Arenas, Gilbert Arenas, get an extra security camera on the door, get an extra pit bull to guard the house, something. You better got your boys ready and locked. All right, Joey.
They're still here. The Mafia's still here. Trust me, they're still here.
Chauncey's going to point a finger, too. He say, hey, Gilbert's right there. All right, Joey, what do we got next?
Well, before we close on NBA, we can talk about, Wemby had a monster game, Luka with 43 in his opener. What are our thoughts heading into the year? I know we got some predictions off air. I don't know if I want to bring them on the air, but the actual season did start outside of the, Las Vegas casino we're currently talking about.
So I'm a Houston Rockets fan. Let me just be honest on that. I was kind of disappointed with our first game because the last 2 minutes of the game, Iman Thompson won't give KD the ball. But I'm going to step out right now and say Wemby will win MVP and the San Antonio Spurs will return to the NBA Finals if he continues to play like that. Now, one thing that I seen, he wasn't just jacking up threes. Last year, that part of his game where he was just jacking threes. But if he plays this inside game like that, rebound at that high clip, and defensively, he once he get a couple blocks, people don't even want to go on him. San Antonio Spurs are built to win now. They have Castle. Dylan Harper is good. Harper's a fantastic rookie. The San Antonio Spurs will return to the NBA Finals if Wemby can stay healthy. Just book it. I'm telling you, if you are a gambling person, goddammit, book it because that team is going to be unstoppable with him playing like that. I was super impressed by him.
He was doing everything, man. The blocks are easy. You don't got to jump to block a shot. The Spurs, if we're just going to keep it on the betting odds, like why not? Fuck it, we're here already. They're plus 4,000 odds to win the NBA championship. So Iman, I'm thinking you get that bet on now. You take those odds and you watch them go up. And I wouldn't want to become in top 5 or something in ESPN's player rankings. Dude, he looks so good. If he's just going to be wet like that from mid range, if he's going to be. How do you put a ball over that man? If he's in the paint, that ball should be getting blocked. It's not even a problem. He puts his arms up, and that's 10 feet right there. So he looked really good. Luka looked really good. You know who looked really good for my Bucks? I just got a shout him out. Miles Turner was splashing some threes for the Bucks. The Bucks made a big upgrade at center. I'm telling you, as much as I love Splash Mountain Brooke Lopez, Miles Turner, the younger cat, more athletic cat, he's actually going to grab a board. By Brooke Lopez being a 7-footer, was grabbing 4 or 5 boards a game. Never made sense. He killed the Bucks in the playoffs on 3-pointers. So I'm excited to have Miles Turner and the Bucks. The Bucks are plus 6,000 for the championship right now. That's back half. That's like 17th in basketball, something like that. So I'm probably gonna slam that for the Bucks. I'm still Bucks in 6. I'm realistic though. The Thunder probably win it. I was a little surprised though to see that futures bets on Cavs. The Cleveland Cavaliers got the second best odds to win the championship this year. Not something I really was thinking about. Are you buying that one with Donovan Mitchell and the whole squad there?
No, not at all. I think Lonzo Ball. No. He's not a big game point guard. I mean, Spider Mitchell is kind of just a volume shooter. I just don't believe in that chemistry. I just think something's wrong with that chemistry on that team. I'm going with Knicks making it out of the East this year. I think the Knicks will make that hump because I think they're playing a little faster this year and they're using more of their bench. Last year, I just think Thibodeau just wore his 6 out, and by the time the playoffs came, they had nothing left. But Coach Mike Woodson is using the bench a little bit more. I'm going Knicks and Spurs in the finals this year. Cavs I don't see. They're still a little young with Mobley.
Nice player though.
Yeah, but I don't see them coming out. I don't like Lonzo at all. I think he's super overrated.
Yeah. Hey, Tibbs special, running your starters into the dirt, into the dust. Joey, your Bulls are plus 50,000.
That sounds about
to
right.
Win the championship. Are you gonna maybe slide 100 on it?
Yeah,
Just
why
think.
not?
You never know.
You never
a big
know.
trade.
You can believe.
A big trade happens that just turns the whole thing around out of nowhere.
They're just in basketball hell forever. It's brutal.
They're in. It's bad. They're like, we're going to give you this decade and this era of greatness, but y'all going to be. Let's kick it over to some. Let's kick it over to a little college football, though. I think so, right, Joey? What do we got next?
Yes, sir. We started the year talking about how the Big Ten is the new fancy conference, but here comes Bama. They are up to number 4 in the college and AP rankings. Ty Simpson elevated himself to QB1 talks in the next draft. We can start with what we're thinking with their rise right now, but the more fun and bigger question is, since Simpson is moving up these QB ranks, where do we rank our top 5 Bama QBs in the last 20 years, and where does Simpson fall in that list?
I mean, it's not the greatest quarterback class ever, so I'm not surprised to hear his name's recently been popping up as QB1 in the draft, and he's been looking so much better, right? I remember the first time we talked about him this year, I wasn't a believer because I've seen Bama quarterbacks before. I've seen this game before. But he generally looks like a really good talent. Running the ball, he's accurate. To me, he kind of seemed like the most naturally gifted talent they've had since kind of Bryce Young was there. So I'm not sure he cracks my top 5 until we can go through what y'all think. I got my top 5 out. He's 5 or 6 for I need a ship. I need an SEC title. I need a ship before I can say you're about the thing. Because with Bama, right? If we're gonna stack rank Bama quarterbacks, there's got to be a national championship tied to that name. There's got to be an SEC title tied to that name. Ever since Nick Saban was there, that's a culture of winning. If you're not winning, you ain't shit in the Bama glory hall, the halls of the glory and everything. So I think it's legitimate to call him QB1 or 2 in the draft at this point, just given the nature of the landscape. Nussmeier's fallen off, Drew Aller gone, Lagway. I don't even know if is Lagway even in the draft. No, Sellers. Is it Sellers from South Carolina? He looks nice. He's probably still up there because he's a really good athlete too. But I don't know, Iman, where are you putting our guy Simpson at this point?
Ty Simpson right now. I listen, and granted, I wasn't too high on Kalen DeBoer earlier in the season. Like, man, this Bama team looks soft as hell. But somehow, some way, he has shown he can develop a quarterback, and this may be a push, but Ty Simpson's looking like QB1 in the whole NCAA right now. Because let's understand, when you play in the SEC, you're playing NFL defenses every week at this time of the year. And I mean, he's looking real good. Now, I do want to say, when it comes to Bama quarterbacks, I'm not a big believer in them in the league, but I'm a big AJ McCarron fan. And I see y'all didn't have on the list. Do y'all not remember Mr. Broadway Joe for Bama? Come on now. We got to get Broadway Joe his props.
Joe.
Because he came to the NFL and won a Super Bowl.
Who's
so we got to get...
Who?
Broadway Joe Namath.
Oh, you're throwing me off because we're talking about the last 20 years. Oh, I was like, did I miss something in the last 20 years? They had a Joe at quarterback.
Yeah, no. You got. I
see.
I'm 43, so I remind everybody my age.
Back in your prime.
I never seen him play. It's just as I started coming up, like I just always just remember just the mink coat on the sideline.
Oh,
so he's just iconic in my eye. The ladies love him. You know, he's in the club with the two girls. So I'm like, I think he's the only one who's outside of Jalen Hurts. Who do we still count him as an Alabama quarterback?
No, that's Oklahoma. He got booted he got booted mid game for Tua as a freshman, and he left and played way better with Oklahoma. He's got a, I don't know. I claimed him with Oklahoma. I'm sure he probably would claim Oklahoma too.
So Broadway's the only one that got a Super Bowl. So I'm a AJ McCarron fan. I just really like that guy, and I like him as like a media guy now. Like he keeps it 100. But outside of that, I think Ty Simpson will be the best pure passer. And Mac Jones is kind of showing us he was a little better than we kind of gave him credit when he was in Jacksonville too. So Mac Jones is up there, but I also say Mac Jones had 3 first-round receivers. So I mean, I could have did that, but
yeah, I mean, and when you're thinking about the last 20 years of Bama quarterbacks, they've had a lot of good ones. Ty Simpson, if he can keep trucking through this season, if he can win them the SEC title, I think he'll finish as like the number 5, because the way I have the last 20 Bama quarterbacks ranked the last 20 years was, I agree. You got to put A.J. McCarron number 1. He's a 2-time national championship winner. He out-dueled Georgia in that 2012 SEC title shootout. He was 36-4 as a starter. We're talking about maybe the most decorated Bama quarterback ever. And again, this is a program that's all about winning. We don't give a shit about nothing else if you ain't winning. So A.J. McCarron is the guy there, I think. Mac Jones, though, you already said it, but 4,500 yards, 41 tuds, 77% completion set. It's just stupid levels of efficiency. He had that undefeated season, obviously, with them. Every drive was kind of automatic. He was 15-1 as a starter there, and statistically, he was just dominant. But maybe Bryce Young was perhaps a little bit more just like a naturally gifted passer than him. He didn't win the title, but Bryce Young was going through it with that team. He didn't have great receiving. He didn't have a good old line, and he pulled that team way further than they probably ever should have gone. So Bryce Young, if you put a normal Bama team around him, probably gets you a championship. We're probably putting him like number 2. I would say it's McCarron, Mac Jones, Bryce Young. Tua probably got to be up there, right? A national championship again, that 2017 year. No, I mean,
I've always hated him. That left hand, he throws a terrible ball. Like I don't like left hand guys who throw softballs.
Yeah.
I know. I never liked Tua. I never liked Tua.
I hate a lefty quarterback as much as the next guy with the ball coming out the hand, but I can't ignore 87 touchdowns, 11 picks, video game type numbers. Granted, it's Bama. You have the craziest thing, but he finished with so many records, like pass yards per attempt. He finished with the record, and this is college record, NCAA records, adjusted passing yards per attempt, passing efficiency rating, and total yards per play. He was dominant. He also had a very dominant team all around him. And then the guy I kind of liked a lot. And this is the guy I'm putting over Ty Simpson right now until I see Ty Simpson get some hardware in the building for that team, is Greg McElroy, the foundation guy of the Nick Saban offense. When he came over there, he was the national championship in 2009. He was really Saban's first dude at quarterback, and he was 24-3. He played the role of just hand the damn ball off to Mark Ingram and Trent Richardson and let them go be great. He did it so good. He was steady, smart, very unflashy. He didn't cost them, and he just made good plays for them, and he handed the ball off really nicely too. So I think we could see Ty Simpson bouncing my number 5, but I think until he gets some hardware, because Tua's got one, right? AJ McCarron's got a lot of them. I just don't see how you can put him in the top 5 of Bama quarterbacks yet until he gets that little bit of hardware. You got to have something hardware-wise for Bama.
I just hate how just quarterbacks now are ranked, and I think Tom Brady did this. Quarterbacks are ranked on team success, and to me, it's just in the era with Nick Saban. I'm being honest. I could have played under center and might would have got an SEC title. I'm just being honest. I think a lot of those guys you named,
but I think
are trash. I just think it's Bama.
I mean, but trash in pro terms, perhaps, but Bama terms, and again, because your culture was built around we're winning championships, we're winning the SEC, that is the standard. And the teams that aren't meeting that standard, how can you go ahead and put a guy if all things are equal, and the thing that's going to put you over the top is hardware, and that's the standard that Bama set, that's the standard Saban set. If I'm a Bama fan, I was like, well, I'm going to, like I said, AJ McCarron, he's got all the hardware. He's got more hardware than any of these guys. So, he didn't have the best stats. He didn't have better stats than Tua. He didn't have better stats than Mac Jones, but he has more rings than Mac Jones. And as a Bama fan, when the standard is winning, I don't know how you I don't know why you would put a guy above that, right? I mean, I get your point. But the standard is the standard, baby, and the standard is rings. And
I get it. I just view quarterbacks. I always view quarterbacks as just pure talent.
Yeah, that's fair.
Talent,
who's your one?
Number 1 arm talent.
You're like, if that's your standard, you're going off of for quarterbacks, and we're just thinking Bama guys here, Bama football. Who's your number 1 now?
Bryce Young, he's the most gifted thrower out of all those quarterbacks on that list. I just think Bryce Young is the most gifted quarterbacks. Now, another thing, I hate short quarterbacks, but as far as just arm talent and big game throws, just being able to make every throw on the football field is Bryce Young.
Yep.
Not even close.
Not even close. I would agree. I think he is the most gifted, natural, best player of that whole group. You see, speaking of short quarterbacks, you see Tua's CTE kicking real quick, and he said he can't see his receivers down the field. Said, "Uh-oh, buddy, you're throwing yourself and all the short quarterbacks under the bus right now, guy."
I don't get it. Oh. Yeah, I don't get it. I don't think he wants to be in Miami anymore. Seriously, why would you say that?
Dolphins fans are so pissed. They're like, bro, you got to hide the CTE when you're on camera. Otherwise, just stop putting him on camera if he's going to say stuff like this. But all right. So do you think Ty Simpson cracks your number 5 then? If we're going off of his natural talent?
Listen, if he can finish 2 years like he's on, he's going to be number 1. Just wait. I'm telling you.
Well, what if it's his last year?
Oh, well, then he'll crack the top 5.
Top 5. Okay. I think that's fair. I think there's 2 ways you can look at it. Both are fair. I'm just going off of if I'm a Bama fan and my standard is championships. Yeah. Joey, did you have one? And did you have a number 1 from that? And how would you look at it?
College is funky because it doesn't translate to the pros. So I'm going to go against what you guys said, and I choose Tua in this. I just remember vividly watching that championship, and when if you're Nick Saban, you have the balls to bench your quarterback in the championship and turn to a freshman, and the freshman goes, "Hold my beer, I got this," and wins you the game. That's a hell of a moxie at quarterback. And I know he's got issues in the NFL now and the arm talent, I get it. But if you want a quarterback to always be the guy you turn to win you a game, he did it in the biggest stage and then some in the rest of his career. So, yes, McCarron is up there. I know that. But I go with Tua for what he did in that championship is program changing. And it's just it's his legacy. Yes. He came in as a true freshman at halftime and won a championship. Yeah, that's nuts.
He had video game numbers there, man. There's no denying he had some freaky stats as Bama's quarterback. All right, Let's move on. Let's get into a little bit of weekend preview. Joey, what do we got on the news desk for like games coming up this weekend though?
All right, so this weekend, let's throw it to the NFL. Giants and Eagles, NFC East battle. I like you title this in the rundown. Rowdy Pups versus Big Dogs. This is going to be an interesting one, guys. What are we thinking? The Giants had that big collapse, but also big offensive game against the Broncos. And the Eagles are, the standard of that division. But slowly but surely, the Giants are building with Dart now an ability to keep pace with some of the top teams.
I mean, Giants got some swagger right now. I mean, I know they lost that game, but there's no doubt there's a level of swagger and pitbull energy with Scadaboo and Dart's doing his thing, right? They have scored 30-plus points in consecutive games for the first time since Week 15 and 16 of the 2019 season. So this team got a little bit of the moxie back, a little bit of their balls back under them right now at this point. And, Jackson Dart threw for the career highs last week against Denver in the loss. And, granted, it was a situational, probably why. But in his past three starts, 6 passing touchdowns, averaging 257 yards a game. Wan'Dale Robinson has stepped up super nice in place of Malik Neighbors being out with 5-plus catches in the last 3 games. And the thing that I'm like, I just can't bet against the Eagles yet on this one. Too much talent. The Eagles are coming off the best offensive game of their season. The Giants' defense still ranks 29th in total defense. I just don't think this is the day for the Giants. It's going to take us some moxie like they can go, but I'm sticking Eagles. Iman, what you got?
Yeah, I'm going with Eagles too. I something about Jalen Hurts and them guys, I think they take everything personal, and I think now they're starting to take it personal that people think they're not the same team. I think it's going to even be bad for the Giants because I just know when you lose games like they lost last week, those are it's so demoralizing and just takes the fucking air out of you. I just think this week they're still going to kind of be on the low. And I just don't think the Giants will do well as long as Brian Daboll is their coach. Because, I think they got their guy at quarterback. Mm-hmm. Jackson Dart he's the guy. They got a Scadaboo in the back. They got a defensive line. But Brian Daboll just did a shit show job with finishing that game. And when you got a guy like Jackson Dart and young guys, keep your foot on the gas. As a head coach, you got to tell the defense, keep your foot on the gas. Offense, keep your foot on the gas. So I think they're about to go on a slump because I just think losing games like that doesn't do well for teams. But, yeah, I think the Eagles going to blow them out because something about them are saying, hey, y'all got to stop sleeping on us. We are the defending champs, and we're about to show you in these next coming weeks.
Yep. And, hey, look, Saquon Barkley still is 20 games played with the Eagles last season. 15 of them, he had 90-plus rushing yards. This season, he hasn't cracked 90 yards in 7 games so far. So he's got 60 yards, 88, 46, 43, 30, 58. Something is still really weird. The fact that we're talking about the best running back in football is not getting yards and not producing. But ever since A.J. Brown met with Barkley and Hurts, A.J. Brown's numbers have gone up a little bit now. Now he's got 10 catches on 15 targets for 201 yards and 2 touchdowns since that meeting. So I got to go Eagles here. Giants defense, I just don't think they can contain this Eagles. Giants might be able to put up 25. Eagles might be able to put up 35. So I just got to roll. I got to go Philly here. What's next?
All right, Cowboys, Broncos. Elite offense versus elite defense. Cowboys, second in the NFL in scoring. Only team this season to score 40-plus points 3 times. Going up against Bo Nix and the Broncos. What are our thoughts on this game? We know Dallas' defense is rough, but I won't be too mean because you got your hat on, Iman. But what are you guys thinking for today's game?
And that's why I say somehow y'all just kind of pulling me back in.
I know.
Don't pull me back in.
Stop wearing the hat.
I know, but it was funny because I think that Dallas can beat Denver. What the Giants did to them on offense, I think the Dallas has way more weapons. Dak is a vet. He is not going to lose the game like that in the fourth quarter. Now, I've seen him do some dumb shit in the first half, but he's not going to lose no fourth quarter game. So I'm taking the upset. I'm taking Dallas by 3 against Denver because I don't think Denver's defense seen the offense like that. I mean, that offense is clicking.
Yep.
Clicking. So I'm going with Dallas.
We'll find out what they're made of, right? Hey, you just said in the last episode, Denver was kind of your team because of that defense. So We're going to find out what they're made of this week against the best offense of football, right? CeeDee Lamb is back. He had like 5 catches for 110 yards and a touchdown in the first half, and they're blowing him up so bad. He didn't have another catch the rest of the game then. So they just absolutely smoked the Commanders last week. But Bo Nix has been all right. The run game is fine. I'm not a total buyer in the run game that they got going between Dobbins and Harvey yet right now, but there's no doubt about how good that defense. Nick Bonito's still a dog. They obviously got Surtain Jr. out there. At cornerback. They got some boys out there on defense, but I agree with you. I'm going to take Dallas here because I think Dallas, like the Eagles, if the Giants are going to put up that 30-plus on that defense, I have no doubt in my mind that the Cowboys can put up 30 in about 3 quarters then. So, I agree. I got to go Cowboys. I gotta be interested to see if this ends up becoming like a close game though, because again with that defense, that Cowboys defense, Bo Nix and that offense, they could also put up 30.
Could score. But I just think Patrick Surtain can only take one of their receivers out, and clearly right now they have just
too much,
just weapons. So,
yeah. I mean, we saw that the Broncos went up against second to third worst defense last week, and now they're going up against the worst this week. So the Broncos could hang another 30 rack here, while so could the Cowboys. This might be another high scoring shootout. The Broncos better come ready to play. Sean Payton better be ready to coach a hell of a game in this one, is what I'm thinking. But what's next, Joey?
All right, Austin, your Green Bay Packers taking on the Pittsburgh Steelers. The return of Aaron Rodgers against his former team. What are we thinking for this one? And what is the, excitement, edge going into this with Rodgers facing that team?
I love Rodgers. I will never be the Packer fan that slanders him. I can't stand that shit. I don't like the Steelers uniforms personally. I get the vintage shit, but these are just ugly, man. Rodgers pretty much came on and said he's retiring a Packer. So he's just warming us up. He's buttering us up to be the hot knife that cuts through that butter then, because this Steelers offense is queued up to dice the Packers where it hurts. The teams have been able to beat us just by cutting 1,000 cuts. And that is what this Steelers defense is going to be good at. They're not an explosive offense. Sorry, the Steelers offense. They're not an explosive offense. They can cut you up. They use a lot of tight ends, a lot of short game stuff. And that's what's cooking on the Packers right now. Rodgers might finish this game like 27 for 32 with like 220 yards and like 2 touchdowns, but he just might cut us up the all game. So I'm a little worried about that, because I think this matchup fits really well into the Steelers' hand, and how they want to play offense matches up well with how the Packers kind of can get hurt on defense a little bit. I'm excited. I hope Rodgers, with every Packers fan who's in attendance better be showing dude love. There's not should be a single boo from him or anything like that. And look, the Packers defense still ranks in the tops in yards per play, holding opponents at under 4.5 yards per play right now is best in football. They're also second in rush yards allowed and first in pass yards allowed per play. So their defense is still good. They got some problems. This is what I was saying in the other episode. They got some problems that are holding them back. It feels like they're just like one shot in the foot away per game. Like, take one shot in the foot away from being a really, really good football team. So we'll see if they can kind of bounce back a little bit. I'm very nervous about DK Metcalf matching up against Nate Hobbs at any point in this game. I'm going to not sleep well Saturday night thinking about that a little bit. But I think Packers will pull it off, again, because overall better team. Steelers' offensive line's not any like world beaters by any means. I think Rodgers get saddled up a bit with the flak jacket, get a little bit extra padded in the helmet. I think the boys are still going to come a bit nasty at you. Devontae Wyatt is coming back in the middle of that defensive line, is a huge, huge addition. We might be seeing Christian Watson for the first time this week, folks, and that's a whole new element. I'm telling you, y'all don't got to see Christian Watson on the stat sheet to feel his impact in a game. I'm telling you, as long as he is out there taking safety coverage off the top, that offense operates so much better with him there. So I think the Packers offense, what if Watson's back, is going to be able to operate a lot smoother, and maybe getting him back, and what he adds just to being on the field, his threat is that like shot in the foot away that helps him get over the top. So I'm going to go Pack. It might be low scoring and ugly again, and I would expect nothing less at this point, but I'm going to go Pack.
Yeah, I'm going to go Packers too, even though I listen, Aaron Rodgers back home, he's brought so much magic to that stadium, so I think he's going to have a good game. I just don't think they have enough on offense that's going to be able to kind of threaten y'all too much. So, and granted, when I talk about quarterbacks all the time, he is, to me, the greatest talent to ever walk the earth in the NFL when it comes to arm talent. He's the best to me. I tell people all the time, and I've watched Joe Montana to Tom,
Dan Marino.
I think everybody, Warren Moon, Troy Aikman, Aaron Rodgers is the greatest gift with an arm in the football that I've seen. So, I've always saluted him. I like he's an asshole. I like my quarterbacks to be assholes. I'm not going to lie to you. I like my quarterbacks to be assholes because that's what you play quarterback for, to get the girls and be an asshole to everybody who's not a quarterback. So I'm going with Packers. Probably by 10, but I think Aaron Rodgers will have a good game. Just Pittsburgh doesn't have enough offensively to keep up with a team like the Packers.
Yeah, like I said, I think it's a good matchup for the Steelers offense to match up with the Packers' weaknesses. So a little worried about that. And Joey's been on the other side of some of those magical Rodgers moments, if we recall.
Shit, I have. You
too.
Know what he did to me that 1 year with that 30-yard out
Jared
at
Cook?
the end of the game? Yes, that broke my fucking heart. Hey, Austin, don't remind me, because that and the Dez Bryant.
Oh, that's right.
I'm telling you, in this era, the two worst games that I lived in, I broke so much shit when Aaron Rodgers threw that 30-yard out on the side. We had that game won. Dak played a hell of a game, and fucking Aaron Rodgers. Please don't remind me. That was that in the Dez Bryant game where it was a catch.
Allegedly.
Were the two worst losses that I've outside of the Romo fumble, the field goal thing, but neither those two got me. So
all right.
Remind me,
all right. All right. Sorry, I'll just remind Joey about the Randall Cobb catch that won the game. That's
what I was gonna say. Yeah, it sucked.
Was that the perk? Was that the Bears on the Perk Rogers game too when he came back when he was hurt? Was that against the Bears, right?
Yep.
Oh, the epic. One of Rodgers' all-time performance, the Perk Rogers game, where he comes back second half glossed out of his brains. That post-game interview just still sauced up on the stuff that he got at halftime. And I couldn't feel my leg.
That's funny.
That was an all-timer. All right, we're all going Pack here. All right. Let's wrap it up with some college football because we're running a bit long today. Let's wrap it up. What do we got on the slate for college football? I'm going to get 2 games here.
Yep. We got 2 games to look at. We'll start with Missouri, number 15 Missouri, taking on Vandy. Vandy, one of the better storylines this year, with their big game against LSU. Pavia continuing up the rankings at QB. What are our thoughts going into this one? Vandy's kind of even though they're 10, they're kind of the Cinderella this year in college football.
I like him. I love how that quarterback plays a lot. This is one of my favorite stories in college football this season. They're coming off a big game against a very good LSU defense where Pavia continues to be one of the most electric quarterbacks in ball. The thing with Missouri, man, they're still up there in ranking. They still got a good program this year, right? But they just got taken to OT by a bad Auburn team in a sloppy game from their quarterback Prbula. Just an overall inefficient offensive performance. So they're going to be looking for a bounce back. It's going to be a tough game to bounce back, though. When you play like that bad, and Prbula is just coming off one of his worst games, and Vandy, granted, they got their own things, but I like Vandy in this one. And as good as Missouri's looked, they're starting to face the gauntlet of their schedule now. It hasn't gone perfect to start, so I'm going to ride the hot hand with Vandy, or at least what I think is still right now maybe just a better overall team, a little bit battle tested, a little bit better, and have done a little bit better in those battles. I'm going to take Vandy.
Yeah, I'm taking Vandy too. I'm drinking the Kool-Aid. Plus, I just love to see parity in college football now. Like, I love to see programs like that's just kind of known for a baseball school, a good educational school. I'm riding. I love Pavia too. I mean, he's been in school for like 7 years, but neither here nor there. I love a swagged out quarterback. He reminds me of the Mexican Johnny Manziel. I swear to God, he gives me Mexican Johnny Manziel. So I'm drinking the Vandy Kool-Aid. They're a well-coached team. And, I mean, confidence can get you some wins in the SEC. And, listen, once again, LSU is a pro defense. So if you can beat them, Missouri's going to be easy for you.
Yeah.
Vandy by 2.
I like that. I like that analogy. I've never heard that one either. But, you thought about another team to watch really quick. Georgia Tech. I think they're number 7. Georgia Tech. Where the hell did that come from? So we got Georgia Tech 7. We got Vandy 10. I love it. I love some new names in the top 25. Who's the other game?
Oklahoma and Ole Miss, both trying to rebound. Sooners lost the Red River Shootout. Ole Miss coming out of a tough loss to Georgia. I think we picked Ole Miss in that game across the board on our last show.
No, I didn't.
I think we both picked Georgia. We both had we didn't have a good gut feeling about Ole Miss in that one.
Okay, yeah, it was the gut feeling. Yeah. Sorry, I won't tell your bad bets if they're not real.
How dare you? How dare you?
How dare I? You know what? I'll go run a poker ring myself at Chauncey. So both of these teams coming looking to rebound. What do we got in this one? Oklahoma and Ole Miss.
Yeah, this is a tough one to call, Austin. I'm not even going to lie to you. But I think Lane Kiffin gets it done. I don't know, because Mateer's kind of getting a couple games back from his injury. That Oklahoma defense is tough. And maybe Lane Kiffin is still just kind of getting called. So I don't know how focused that team is. And like I say, when you lose those close games, it just does something to you for a couple weeks. So I don't want to do it, but I'm going to go Oklahoma in a tight one down to the end again this week. Defensive game, maybe 27-24.
And this is tough for me, too, because I think Ole Miss is my team to beat a couple weeks ago. My problem here is this game's being played at Oklahoma. If this was at Ole Miss, my gut would be saying something different. And John Mateer is a really good quarterback. He had that 4-interception game. He'll be looking to bounce back, of course. Shambliss is a good quarterback, man. He's good, too. And I like Lane Kiffin and like the head coach matchup a little bit here. But Oklahoma at home, looking to... I'll stick. That's going to be my deciding factor. I'm going Oklahoma because it's a home game for them. And both these teams are coming off tough weeks. They're kind of in the same spot of, like Joey said, rebound spot. Both got really good quarterbacks. Both well coached. Both tough on both sides of the ball. So if all things equal, home field advantage can give them a tiebreaker. So I'm going Oklahoma on this one too. All right, Joey, I know we got we're already out of time. We've gone so far, but I know you got some baseball stuff, and we got the World Series coming up. As a baseball player in life for myself, I'd be remiss if we didn't cover something baseball. We got something on the World Series.
It begins tonight.
Doff it.
Dodgers, Blue Jays. Can anyone take down these Dodgers? And what do the Blue Jays do about Mr. Bo Bichette returning or not to his starting role? Are they hot and they don't bring him right back, or he's the missing key to take down the $1 billion Dodgers?
I don't know how you keep him out. We're talking about a guy who hit 311 with 18 taters and 94 ribbies, 181 hits in the regular season. That is a insane season. If you're around the 200 mark, you just had an unreal baseball season. And he was doing everything. And I get it, the chemistry, you want to write it, but when you're playing sports, like in football, you get your best 11 on the field. Bo Bichette is one of your best. You got it. You can't just have your best sitting on the bench. If he's good to go, he's good to go get his ass in that lineup. And with the Dodgers, man, you got to be able to strike. Your bat's got to be able to put bat to ball. Vladdy has been the best player of all playoffs in terms of putting bat to ball and being impactful in that sense. George Springer, too. He had that huge home run against Seattle. Like I said, Seattle's not okay. The Mariners fans are not okay. I posed this one to the Mariners fans, too. I was like, would you rather have been the Brewers and you just got your asses swept? You don't got your dignity anymore? Or would you have rather just been the Mariners and you lost in Game 7 at that heartbreak? I don't know. I can't really make up my mind on that one. One, you don't have dignity. Two, you just got your heart broken on the other side of it. But I think the Blue Jays got the bats to do something they got against this Dodgers pitching, because you're going to need to be able to put up at least 2 or 3 runs a game to compete. Because, the Blue Jays got all right pitching, but I don't see him holding down the Dodgers bats from scoring anything less than 2 runs a game. So I think they got the bats to do it. I'm calling this one in 6 because fuck the Dodgers. I'm going in 6 to the Blue Jays.
Oh, come on, Austin. Now, y'all know I like to tie in a few things, too. Y'all know last year was kind of the biggest battle in music. It was Kendrick Lamar versus Mr. Drake. And you see what happened in that battle, Austin. He's not like us. You cannot be serious. LA in 5. I'm telling you. The Dodgers are going to wipe the floor with the Blue Jays. It's not even going to be close, because it's coincidence that this has actually happened. And I would not be surprised if you hear 1,001 Drake songs and 1,001 Kendrick Lamar songs on all these productions because they're going to lean right into it again. You know, Grammys is coming up and all of that shit, so they're going to tie that in. But you've seen what happened to the Six when they go against LA in the rap battle.
You're right.
Dodgers in 5.
Oh man, that's a good point. I hate taking Drake's side when it comes to sports because that dude sucks. Whatever his name is tied to in sports, it goes poorly. And here's one fun fact: I forgot to call us out with the Bills fan. The last time the Blue Jays went to the World Series, the Bills went to the Super Bowl.
Oh wow!
I might be throwing $100 on the Bills. I don't know. I'm just saying. Might just throw $100 on the Bills. That's something. Not saying they're gonna win it, but might say that they might get there. So I don't know. You're right. Now that you said that, I'm kind of pissed because I hate siding with Drake with sports. So this one hurts, and it's going to cost the Blue Jays in the long run. They should totally disavow Drake now. Let's cut ties with him. If he tries to connect his name to the Blue Jays, we can say we disavowed it. It doesn't count. It doesn't matter. It's not real. We're doing this without him. So still give me Blue Jays in 6. Blue Jays in 7 because of Drake. Blue Jays in 7. I'm changing my answer. Joey, what do you got? You're a baseball guy. Who are you taking in this one?
I'd like the Blue Jays, but I'm afraid I'd have to take the Dodgers in 6. But I'd love to see the Blue Jays, and I need to give some love to Canada because without that Raptors title, they wouldn't have a title still since I was born. Because the Maple Leafs, the Canadians, and the Blue Jays and defunct Expos, they haven't won since '93. It's crazy.
Damn. Talk about
and that's hockey country.
Yeah, talk about a sad city.
Yeah, or country.
Country, yeah, sorry, shoot.
So I'd love to see the Blue Jays win it, but I'm afraid the Dodgers are just too damn good. And if Shohei does what he did again, or a quarter of that, good luck.
Yeah, I just can't do it for the Dodgers. They've kicked the Brewers out of the playoffs too many times recently. I cannot put,
sick of them.
In good conscience, cannot put my name on an LA Dodgers title. Fuck the Dodgers. And that is our show for today. I want to end it on that. And that's my call. All right. Hey, good talking to y'all again. Hey, we will see you guys next week. I'm going to still be in Florida next week doing this with this bad quality. So I'm sorry with my Peloton bike and the off-brand Peloton. That's called a Hoist Le Mans series bike. I don't even know what that is. But it's in the back.
It's off-brand one.
Either way, we're biking. So we'll see you guys next week. Enjoy some football. We got some good games coming up. And we'll see you later.